Hey man, this is a little darker than I expected. I've got every light on in the house, so I apologize for that. I wanted to weigh in on the NFL Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the national anthem stuff, for lack of a better term. First of all, everybody has completely forgotten why he is doing what he's doing. And I feel bad about that for him and those people who feel that way. Now, whether you feel that way or whether I feel that way is irrelevant. They have a right, according to the first Constitution, to express themselves. And I'm just appalled and taken aback by the number or percentage of quote unquote conservatives that I hear or see posting about his protests and why he should stand for the national anthem. Well, first of all, I guess I need to go back a couple of days. I was kind of ignorant on the whole thing too. My son and I were talking about it, and we both agreed. We both always agreed that the Constitution is the Constitution is the Constitution, and it shouldn't be tinkered with. It should be as far as I'm concerned, the initial Constitution and the Bill of Rights, with the obvious exception of civil rights being corrected. And the rest of it has just been liberal judges, I think, intentionally misinterpreting uh, phrases and words and whatever. It's like the whole separation of church and state thing. There's just not, you will not find separation of church and state anywhere in the Constitution. It says the state can't mess with the church, but that doesn't say you can't put up a nativity scene or Jewish community, Hanukkah celebration, whatever. Or if you're in a black community and you do the Kwanzaa thing, if you're Muslim, if you're in a Muslim community, whatever. If you want to put, if the community, the majority of the community is of a particular belief, and that community wants to do something in their community on town hall property, they have every right to do so. No, that's this separation of church and state thing is that's a whole nother rant. I'll get on that some other time. But what everybody needs to know now, according to my son, who is as reliable as anybody I know about knowing facts before he says something. So I have total trust in that. And he says that, you know, Kaepernick was initially sitting through the national anthem and the raising of the flag. And he had a friend who was a veteran who said, "Look, man, I understand the protest of what you're protesting, and I certainly understand you have the right to do so. I fight for that right or fought for that right. I don't know if the guy was still in the service or not, but I lay my life on the line, so you have a right to do that because I'm sworn to uh, protect, and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that includes President Trump. If he's going to run his mouth in a way that is contrary to the Constitution, we got a problem. Then he's no different than Obama. Not one bit of difference. Or Clinton, for that matter, or Bush the younger. But his friend tells him, "Look, I get what you're doing, but that's a disrespectful way to do it. The best way for you to handle it is to kneel in front of the flag as it's being lifted up, or as they're doing the national anthem." And so I admire him for that. He didn't say, "Punch you, man. I ain't kneeling for nothing." Uh, I can tell you, I wouldn't bow down for the flag. Or the only thing I'm gonna put my knee on the ground for is Jesus Christ. You know, if He comes to my door, I'll hit the floor. I guarantee it, whether I want to or not. But I'm not pledging my allegiance to anything of this world, because if it's of this world, it's fading. It's going away. Y'all live and think as if we are in a permanent situation right now. That's so frustratingly shallow to me. I mean, the world has been around a long time. And the only one thing I know about it, besides God doesn't change, is that the world changes continually, all the time. So you're not going to have the same situation next year as you've got this year, or next decade as you've got the decade after. So you better have a set of rules that you decide you're going to go by and stick with them. And that's where the Constitution and the Bill of Rights come in. So I admire him for respect out of his veteran friend, and respect out of the flag because of what his veteran friend told him, and respect for all veterans for that matter, of kneeling as opposed to sitting. So he's already made concessions to show that he's not trying to disrespect the flag. He's protesting the nation that flies that flag because of the perceived, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't know. I've known white people that got beat up by black cops, and I've known black people got beat up by black cops. I know white people got beat up by white cops. I don't know if I know of any black people that got beat up by black cops. I mean, I'm not saying that don't happen. I'm certainly sure it does, because they all, and this is no disrespect to law enforcement, okay? I'm just telling you the facts, the numbers, and man, the numbers don't lie. The highest rate of domestic violence among professions in the United States of America is law enforcement. That like 38% of their employees from law enforcement have been involved or convicted. I'm not sure how it worded to be true, but they were the highest on the chart, 38%. And I know that. I don't doubt that a bit, because I have known a lot of women who were in abusive relationships with cops. And this goes back to the 70s. And I mean, it's nothing new. Uh, Although I will say back in the 70s, cities, counties, whatever, were more apt not to hire the type personality who would lean toward that. They had some good cops who weren't cocky. They didn't come at you looking for trouble. Because the best way to get me stirred up in a hurry is come talk to me like you are stirred up, and you get smart with me. I can't help it, man. I've tried to keep my mouth shut. I got in trouble in school just about every day, from kindergarten through graduation of high school, because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Every teacher was the same thing. I had straight A's except for conduct. I had to say, Donnie's a great kid, great student, can't keep his mouth shut. I mean, it's just I'm not. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or disobedient. It just happened. I mean, it would like totally be out of my mind. I can't explain it, man. But if I'm done with my work and somebody behind me is done with theirs, or I know they're not in danger of not finishing, I'm gonna talk to them. I get in trouble, but I'm gonna talk to them. But back to Kaepernick. So in the fact that he's kneeling, I think we all need to back up, understand what he was doing, why he was doing it, and he has every right to do that. And if I thought the same way, I'd be right behind him 100%. Well, I am behind him 100% anyway, because it's a constitutional right to do so. But, whether blacks are picked on more than whites, I don't know. I've known white people that had stuff planted on them. I've known white people whose rights they violated by going through their cars and searching through the personal stuff when they had no right. I've known black people who've had the same thing done to them. I really don't think it's a matter of race. I think it's a matter of how you react. And if you got a bad guy in a uniform with a badge and a stick and a gun and a flashlight, he's gonna put in your face so you can't see nobody. He's looking for any little thing that you do to set him off. So, maybe more blacks are persecuted. Maybe they're not. I don't know. But the fact is, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody or say anybody's better than anybody. But I'm just going by cold, hard numbers. The fact of the matter is, the black population makes up 13-14% of our total population, and the whites supposedly make up about 78%. Actually, that's probably changed with the Hispanic influx we've had the last few years. But those were the last numbers I saw. So, and the sad thing about it, it's not black people per se doing this. It's 80 or 90% of the crime in the black community is committed by this age group, males from 13 to 25 or whatever. And that's another thing I can get on. That's something the Democrats has done to the black communities that, in my mind, they set out to do They're very sneaky about it, uh, and they were surreptitious. I mean, it was in my mind. If you could sit down calmly and just think about what I could tell you and let me show it to you on paper, I think I could make you see without a doubt. And they keep you in that trap. And you get mad because the man is keeping you down. Well, who's the man? If you talking about the man is anybody in the establishment, I'm gonna call bullshit on you every time. But if you're talking about the Democrats in power, I'm with you all the way. The man is keeping you down, and me too, and everybody else, because the Democrats want the government to be in charge of everything. They want the government to handle everything. They want as much of your money as they can get. They don't want to help you get a job. They want to have you. They don't want to help you get any independence. They want you living in a nanny state. And uh, to their credit, and now I'm not talking about Democrats as much as those on the left, whatever they may call themselves. I say, hey, they're right on this protest issue because uh, now they're probably not doing it to be right. They're probably just doing it because it's opposite of what the right is doing. My opinion. If you don't like it, sue me, okay? Try to find blood in this term. And but bottom line is, right now, basically, the people to the left are supporting Kaepernick's right to protest however he wants to, as long as he's not breaking any laws or anything like that. Now, you can't go have a protest without a permit in the city. So know that. If you do that, you're probably going to get in trouble, especially if trouble gets started. An anti-group, an opposing group or whatever. Uh, but, these soldiers that go off, and I've seen a lot of vets post their opinion on this. And you can't say it's racist because Colin Kaepernick is every bit as much white as he is black. But, I've seen vets getting on him. And that's wrong because they took an oath to defend and protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. All enemies. And I don't care if that's some nuthead out here who claims to be a communist and he got a gun, he's going to go shoot some business owner because he's a communist. He's an enemy. And if I can take him out, he got a gun in his hand, I'm going to take him out. If I take him out without a gun in his hand, I'm going to jail. Because it wasn't a right wing Tea Party member who thumps the Bible and totes guns and goes around killing people all the time. Biggest bunch of nonsense I ever heard. The people causing trouble physically are you spoiled little Occupy folks. I mean, it's kind of that little deal's kind of over now, but that was not just a national movement. That was an organized world movement. You look at what's going on in Europe, and then over here, and it was people called it long before it happened. You could see it happening. So that they're the ones who get in trouble. They're the ones who get violence going. The right, have a lot more people like me who are older and would just as soon be done with the fighting days as to have to stand up and protect what they should as an American. I mean, I'm not going to lie. If you're 21, I'm not going to be able to go with you for 20 or 30 minutes. So I'm going to take you out fast, hard and fast, if I can. If I can't, you're going to have to take me out hard and fast. Or I will find a way to take you out hard and fast. But the bottom line right here is, do you or do you not believe in the basic rights of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and whether or not and why or not do they pertain to NFL players, or don't, whatever your feeling is. I'm confused. Because right now I'm in it's like I fell into the rabbit hole, man. Uh, the left is defending the Constitution, which is very rare. They say they are all the time, but factually, they're far from it. Abortion is not constitutional. Uh, I forgot what else I was going to say, but there are some issues on the left that the separation of church and state thing was one that the left tends to support more than the right, that are unconstitutional as it is written. Now, I'm not saying it hasn't been interpreted differently by judges over the 200 years, 220 years, 30, whatever we've been here, 40. Man, we're getting old. But, and the people who I consider on the right hand of the aisle, who should be die-hard constitutionalists. Because if you're not, then I'm kind of there anyway. I'm kind of done with the Republican Party anyway. There are a couple that I would vote for, but for the most part, they and Democrats are the same people. They're just wearing whatever badge they have to get elected in their area. So, for whatever that's worth. But